All right, let me talk to you real quick about Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. Rexius carries an awesome line of pre-workout from brands like Alpha Lion, Bucked Up, 5150, Insane Labs, and several other brands. They also have a great selection of protein powder, including my personal favorite, the All Max Hexapro cookies and cream flavored. Can't go wrong with that. They also carry the very popular brand Axe and Sledge protein powders, branched chain amino acids, which are crucial to stay hydrated, and pre-workout. They also carry locally owned brands like VHI Fit. They carry their protein powders in several different flavors. They also have pre-workout, branched chain amino acids, vegan protein powder as well. And if you have a sweet tooth like me, you gotta try this Omaha protein popcorn. The owners Jamie and Brent Stryker are absolute studs and are very knowledgeable with a background in bodybuilding. Jamie even reached pro status as an IFBB pro women's physique competitor. Stop by Rexius Nutrition in Ralston on the corner of 84th and Q and receive 10% off when you tell them you're there on an official visit.
Welcome, gentlemen. It's Austin Glendale. I'm here on Saturday version of the official visit. Just doing a quick recap of yesterday's big game, just the weekend in general, and do a little bit of looking ahead towards 8-man playoffs. So, first thing we'll kind of do is we'll talk about yesterday's Omaha Westside versus Millard South game. It was a very hype game going into it, battle of 1 versus 2. And for the most part, I know the final score shows double-digit win by Westside, but it was a game that I felt was a lot closer. For most of it, it came down to a few big plays that turned into scores, stuff like that. So just wanted to share some quick takeaways from the game. So without further ado, we'll get started. First takeaway is just Westside is a really good team. In all aspects of the game. They do a really great job. Defense was outstanding yesterday. In a game where it was cold and a little wet and windy and stuff like that, and offense, neither offense was really able to really get off to being as explosive as they normally are. Westside defense did a great job of keeping Westside going and limiting any huge explosive Millard South offensive plays. In particular, the defensive line is really good. RJ Eckhart, seniors RJ Eckhart and John Quell, Osler, and then junior Campbell are just monsters up front. They do a really good job creating pressure, get to the quarterback. They can win at the line of scrimmage. They run very well. Create opportunities for their linebackers and other players of the defense to make plays and stuff like that. And obviously when they're hurrying and pressuring the quarterback, kind of forces some of those throws that may be off balance, or maybe they throw knowing they probably shouldn't have. Maybe led to some of those interceptions. Jordan Hurst, he's my player of the game from yesterday's game. Started off the game with a bang. Second offensive play for Millard South. He was able to, he got the pick. Jet threw it up, intended for, I believe it was Marion, and Jordan just went up and snagged it. Just went out and he took it, gave the ball back to the offense, and I believe they scored from that. So, and then he was the one that kind of shut the door on any kind of a Millard South comeback towards the end of the game with that 70-yard pick six. Just read the quarterback, made a play on the ball and just took off from there. Great play, played great coverage. Had some good matchup, some good reps against Marion, some of their playmakers on that Millard South defense. So great game by Jordan. Like I said, player of the game in my book. There's obviously Anthony had a great game as well, but just what he was able to do was very impressive to see.
All right, I'm here with Jordan Hurst,
Yes, sir.
Senior for Omaha Westside. You just had a big game, 2 interceptions. Talk to me a little bit about what you were feeling today, how what you were seeing out there.
We knew it was going to be a big game. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. We know that's a great team. We just had to come out, execute, do what we did on the defensive side of the ball, and just get turnovers, get stops. That's what the game came down to.
You started the game off with a huge interception and basically ended the game with that pick 6.
Yes, sir.
Was that something you came in saying to yourself?
Yes.
This is a great team. I need to make a play.
Yes, sir. We know we got a great defense. We knew the ball was going to be flying around a lot. I came in with the mindset again 3, but I left with 2. I'm glad with that. I'm happy with that.
Definitely. There's still a ton of ball left for sure.
Yes, sir.
But you just took out a major opponent in your schedule.
Yes, sir.
What's next for Westside, and what do you guys have to do to make sure you don't fall into the mindset of, hey, we're the top team. We got it made for right now.
We just can't get complacent. We got to keep elevating each week. We know next week's a great opportunity to get better. We just got to fight each game.
All right. What do you got to say to the coach who's still sleeping on you, man?
Man, I don't know what I got to say, but the film going to talk for itself, for sure.
There you go, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess speaking, continuing on defense, Millard South's defense is also, is a championship level defense. I believe is a defense that, they create just plays. They make plays happen when they really need one. They made them happen. Had that blocked field goal attempt that they ended up recovering. Nazir's sack on Anthony Rizek that forced the fumble and the scoop and score by Dylan kind of brought them back into the game when it was still 17-14. Stuff like that. That's what championship teams do. In championship defenses, that's what they do. So this is a defense that can very well help. And I don't want to say carry because that seems kind of harsh for an offense that's really good. But they can be kind of the leaders of that Millard South team. They just have a ton of seniors on that defense. So, Jared Laquana, Aiden Miller, Caleb Panowitz, trying to think on outside, Javante, Delon, Nazir at safety. Just a lot of great players, smart players have been, playing together for a while. So, this is defense to keep an eye on. One player specifically that I want to talk about was Dylan Cool. Sorry, I don't know. Cool. I believe it's Cool. I'm not sure. Sorry, bro. But he's been balling, man. He's been playing just absolutely out of his mind. Playing, I believe he has a touchdown in like 4 of the last 5 weeks or some insane like that. And that's defensive touchdowns. Stuff stats. Just kind of get his actual numbers, but just these numbers alone: 38 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 4 interceptions. Interception return yardage is 199 yards, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 forced fumbles. I can't find the total number of touchdowns he's had, but it shows he has 3 receiving touchdowns. I'm almost 100% sure he has more defensive touchdowns than he has offensive touchdowns, and that's not a knock on his offensive game because they just have a ton of playmakers, so he doesn't necessarily get the ball as much. But that just speaks to how insane he's been playing on defense. He's been scoring. I believe he had a score against Lincoln East or a fumble recovery or something like that. And 2 weeks prior to that, he also had big turnovers. So he's a player that has been skyrocketing with his stock, and he's a player that I believe is going to be. He should have enjoyed a nice spring in the off season. When his coaches catch more wind of him. Also, another quick shout out here on the Millard South defense. A player that I thought had a pretty solid game. He's only a sophomore. Nathan Christensen played cornerback for a good majority of the game. Had some great reps against Caleb Benning. Had 2 huge pass breakups in the end zone. One came early in the first half, I believe. Looked like it was a surefire touchdown to Caleb. He was able to get his hands up and bat the ball away, prevented that one. And then the other one came late in the game. I'm not exactly sure which quarter, but it was a little bit more of an acrobatic catch attempt for Caleb. But regardless, Nathan still did a good job getting his hands up and batting that one away as well, and making sure Caleb didn't come down with that. So, like I said, only a sophomore. I know there's a lot of sophomores on this team getting attention, but he's one that we might have to keep a closer eye on. as the years, as the season progresses and off season and all that kind of stuff progresses. So, another takeaway I have is the weather. I feel like the weather played a decent role in it. Neither team was really able to, like I mentioned yesterday in my halftime note, neither team was really able to hit that home run play that they're able to do. Millard South, I'm sure, was looking for that deep ball to find Amarion a little bit more consistently. I'm sure Anthony and Co would have liked to hit a long one down the field or something like that with other playmakers they have. And then just watching the game, you'd see passes here and there, passes that both quarterbacks you've seen the tape and they can make. It's just, like I said, a matter of the wind and the weather and stuff like that. Maybe throwing it off just enough to create an issue, I guess. I don't want to put a game like that on like the absence of one player, one position, but I'm really curious to see what this game would look like if Millard South had like a healthy backfield. Nolan Feller's star senior. He's still, I think, a week or some odd weeks away from coming back. But he just adds an extra dimension just because, not just because of how good of a runner he is, but also how great of a receiving target he is. He adds another target that you have to keep an eye on and keep track of in that passing game as a receiver out of the backfield and a running back that can even line up at receiver. He's just that versatile, that athletic, that good of a football player. So then yesterday, Gabe, sophomore Gabe Pucha getting knocked out early was a bit of a blow. I'm sure. I'm sure they would have liked to be able to run the ball and be a little bit more balanced against a team like that. Kind of open up the run or the passing game a little bit with the run. They were just unable to, really get that going, especially against that Westside defensive front. It was a bit of a tough game running the ball, but like I said, it's something that I feel like once they get their guys back there, they'll be able to move more efficiently with the ball on the ground. So, like I said, I still believe these are two of the top teams in Class A. Westside clearly is, playing at a different level right now. They're just playing insane level of football. I'm not sure we've really seen in a long time. Nebraska high school, I guess maybe Bennington over in Class B, a strong case as well. But just playing insane level of football right now. Very well at all levels of the field. Lots of great depth. Westside, as good as advertised for sure. Definitely, as of right now, the head and shoulders #1 team. But I don't want to knock Millard South too far down the totem pole, because I do believe they are an elite team and a team that we could see this matchup again in November out in Memorial Stadium. So this is, like I said, Millard South is just maybe getting a few of their guys back healthy and going, and then they'll be all right. They'll be good to go. Like I said, that defense is championship level, and the offense is just as explosive as almost any in Class A. So definitely not something for Millard South to be down on themselves about. Played hard, played tough. I'm sure they'll be back. All right, so now one of the last things I want to talk about is we got some playoffs or play-in or whatever you want to call it. But it's the first round of I'll just call it first round of playoffs for 8-man teams. We saw the release of the D1 and D2 first round brackets. Got some interesting matchups in there. Real quick, I'll kind of go through all the matchups, and then I got a few here I wanted to talk about specifically. So we got North Platte, and it's all the higher seeds. hosting. So number 1 North Platte, St. Pat's hosts Sutton, Bridgeport hosts Alma, number 5 Ravenna hosts number 12 Neely Oakdale, 4 Arapahoe hosting 13 Hemingford, 3 Highline hosting 14 Summerland, 6 Elkhorn Valley hosting 11 Riverside, 7 Perkins County hosting 10 Cambridge, 2 Sandy Creek hosting 15 Maxwell, 1 Stanton hosting 16 Meade, 8 Johnson County Central hosting 9 Clarkson Lee, 5 EMF hosting 12 Pender, 4 Plainview hosting 13 Hartington Newcastle, 3 Cross County hosting 4 Weisner Pilger, 6 Shelby Rising City hosting 11 Elmwood Murdoch, 7 Weeping Water hosting 10 Thayer Central, and 2 Crofton hosting 15 Tri-County Northeast. So from those, I have a few matchups here that I've kind of, when I saw the bracket, I saw these and thought, okay, these are going to be some good matchups. Number 8, Bridgeport, 6-2, hosting number 9, Alma, 5-3. This is a really close matchup. Matchup I think is going to be pretty interesting to watch. Alma has that explosive offense that can just put up, score at will basically. And Bridgeport, very tough. They have Peyton Abbott back there running the ball. They've ripped off 6 in a row. So, I'm interested to see how they match up here. Another one I think that I saw that I thought was that I think is going to be very exciting to watch is number 6 Elkhorn Valley versus number 11 Riverside. Elkhorn Valley, they're coming off a loss to Plainview yesterday, so they might be looking to get back on track. It's going to be tough doing so, playing Riverside, but definitely a team that has the talent to do so. Riverside, has only really lost to undefeated teams so far this season, so they don't really have any bad losses on their record. But just a team that could also, put up points, explosive offense. So this is going to be a good matchup. Another one, 6 Shelby Rising City versus number 11 Elmwood Murdoch. Both teams are 7-1. Shelby Rising City, they were undefeated up until last night's game against Cross County. They did kind of take a loss there, 44-6, I believe was the final score. But they have a ton of talent on that team. Both Verkas are just monsters on the team. Gabe Dutton Montford has been running amok for them. So then Elmwood Murdoch, another very good team, talented all around. They only losses to Weeping Water, who has been on the rise recently, and we'll talk to him, which is another one of my matchups that I like, and that's number 7 Weeping Water versus 10th Thayer Central. Weeping Water we saw kind of make a little bit of a Cinderella run last season. I believe they were like a 15th seed, and then they upset Cross County, actually, who was, I believe, the top seed or the number 2 seed at the time. And they're making a little bit of a surge here late after 2 early season losses. Thayer Central, they're a team that has Sam Dyke, who's been just running absolutely insane for them. I believe he's well over 1,000 yards. Yeah, that should be a great matchup. Both teams are 6-2 on the season. Both teams probably better than 6-2. They just played some tough teams throughout the season. But those are my D1 matchups that I'm really looking forward to keeping an eye on and seeing how those turn up. We could maybe see, I don't know, say upsets or anything, but it could be matchups that are more evenly matched than what the rankings or what the seeding says. So, all right. So now we're on D2. Again, I'll read the matchups real quick, and then I'll talk. I got a couple games on here that I think are gonna be some fireworks. So, starting off, got number 1 Dundee County Stratton hosting 16 Elm Creek, 8 Boyd County hosting 9 Anselmo Myrna, 5 Axtell hosting 12 Loomis, 4 Sandhills Thedford hosting 13th Overton, 3 Ainsworth hosting 14th Kennesaw, 6 Twin Loop hosting 11th Hitchcock County, 7 Mullen hosting 10th Hyannis, 2 South Loop hosting Ansley Litchfield, 1 Johnson Brock hosting 16 Westside, 8 Bloomfield hosting 9 Howes Dodge, 5 Lord's Central Catholic hosting High Plains Community, 4 Humphrey St. Francis hosting Fullerton, 3 Central Valley hosting Wausau. I'm sorry. 6 Elgin Public Pope John hosting Lawrence Nelson, 7 Osceola hosting 10 Bruning Davenport Shickley, 2 Wynot versus hosting 15 Silver Lake. So that's kind of your breakdown of Class D2, the matchups we'll see on Thursday. We had 2 matchups I have circled from that slate. Got number 9 Howes Dodge versus number 8 Bloomfield. Both very good teams. Howes Dodge is, as you guys may know, is the powerhouse in Class D2 and just 8-man football in general. Have a long history of just being a dominant force and winning state championships, and constantly putting out a great team, hard-nosed team, tough team. Had a little bit of a tough season this year, some losses here and there. Still a team that I believe is very, they're battle tested. So I believe some situations like the playoffs might be where they really step up and shine. With their coaching staff and all that kind of stuff. So Bloomfield, they're been a consensus top 5 team basically all season. Even after their first loss, I believe they were still considered very high, just one of the premier teams in Class D2. Lost to Wynot last night, but regardless, they still have just a ton of weapons. Just a team that has a ton of weapons. Team that can even despite the loss last night, I still believe they're a lot better team than the 6-2 record. They got players like Wiley Ziegler, Lane Warrior, Mason McPrang, Casey. Shoot, I don't know how to pronounce some. I butchered Januta. But just a beast on the defensive line. You got playmakers all over the place. They score points. Quick, they're fast. So yeah, this is going to be a team that's going to be pitting, tough, hard-nosed ball versus, just speed and quickness, and yeah, it's going to be a good game. In my second matchup I have circled is number 7 Osceola, 7-1 hosting number 10 Bruning Davenport Shickley. BDS I believe is they're a good team, just maybe had a bit of a tough schedule. Saw some losses here and there, and but like I said, they're a team that's known for playing pretty well late in the season. So then Osceola, all I gotta say is Kale Gustafson has been playing just incredible this season. 7 of 8 games, well over 100 yards rushing. He had one monster game where he had like 315 or something like that, and like 4 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns, some insane numbers. Yeah. Well, 4 touchdowns, and he had a 185 game the week before that had 6 touchdowns. Yeah, 3 games with 4 touchdowns, and then the one with 6 touchdowns. So just been playing just absolute lights out football. On the defensive side, a player that I've really like and really kind of emerged this season, Braden Santos, has like 1 million interceptions this season. Yeah, just a baller. Tons of great players on this team. see here. I want to see how many interceptions. Yeah, 6 interceptions for Brandon Santos. He's only a sophomore. He's going to be a player to keep a close eye on in upcoming seasons. But yeah, this is a matchup that I believe could be, I think has some potential to be pretty great game. So that's really all I have for you guys. Like I said, I broke down the Westside versus Millard South game yesterday. Talked a little bit about that. Talked some bracketology, and then broke down D1 and D2 matchups I like. So I appreciate you guys for listening. Shout out to our sponsor, Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. Go check them out, man. They got a ton of great stuff. Winter season's coming up, bulking season. You trying to start covering up so we can get lean and trim for spring and summer. So it's perfect time to go in and get your proteins, get your pre-workouts, get your BCAAs, all that kind of stuff that they have in there. Mention the official visit, you get 10% off. And then if you are maybe a little bit further, and this is only the Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. But if you do live a little bit further out and maybe want to check out what they got, check out their website, and then if you call them in, they will take your order and ship that out for you. So very cool people, very willing to accommodate, help you out in your journey, with fitness and stuff like that. So shout out to Rexius, love them, and appreciate you guys. Looking forward to great finish to the season and hopefully some electric playoff matchups coming up. So thank you guys, appreciate it.